I don't want to go blind, so I better wear these. Ah, that's very nice. I shall not grow blind. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazable coming at you with the new EP review. Thank you for coming on by. I really appreciate it. I love talking about all this music, having a lot of fun. So let's keep it rolling. So like, subscribe, and comment down below. Today I am checking out a band called Grow Blind with their self-titled EP, Grow Blind. Grow Blind is a hardcore slash punk band that's based out of Evansville, Indiana, and they've been a band since about 2023. And I discovered this band when, I was just on Spotify and I got a recommendation for bands you might like. And I was like, bet I need to review more music. And that's how I discovered this band. And from what the band has said, and from what I've listened to them, they kind of said that they want to make music that people can dance to, slash is influenced by bands like Gumm, Trapped Under Ice, Dare, and even Turnstile. And I gotta say, those influences, you can definitely hear them when listening to this EP. With their debut self-titled EP, the band has distilled their ethos into 4 simple tracks that have a very raw power to them, a groove that's very danceable, and a very I want to say emotional honesty, without ever really losing their fun factor that can draw comparison to, like I said before, bands like Turnstile, Dare, and Trapped Under Ice. And from the get-go with their song Born to Lose, the band's core strengths come to fruition very early on. And that strength is deep and metallic riffs that just have a very heavier sound to it, thanks to the very rumbling and punchy feel of the drums. That also has some very tasteful drum fills throughout the song. To top things off, you have a very surprising contrast in the vocals because they have a very high pitch, cutting delivery that just, it's very rare to find in most modern hardcore music. The combination of some really nice guitar scaling and some smooth transitions really make this a very undeniably catchy song. So I want to play a small clip of Born to Lose for you. To the anchor you brought, a lot of you, it's something or not. I'm fit to live with all I know. I'm fit to give, I ain't got no love. Tell me those vocals don't remind you of a mix of Justice from Trapped Under Ice and Brandon from Turnstile. The thing I noticed about this opening song, it has a very stop and go groovy play style that also carries into the next song, Come and Get It. And with this song, you get some really good bass playing that steps to the forefront at the beginning of the song, and it really locks in with the drums for some really tight, almost nu metal-esque like section that just really reminds me of break stuff from Limp Bizkit, and it just never really stutters in momentum. The track grows with intensity as it goes along, blending, a very unusual style of talking like vocal phrasing with some really heavy rhythmic just hits from the guitars and the drums, making it some of the most infectious moments on the EP with this track. So I want to play a small clip of Come and Get It so you can just get a sense of the groove this band is creating here. They got a good flow there and some really gritty guitar. But unfortunately, not every song on here has that dynamic firework to it. Silver seems to keep things stripped back a little bit, riding, a steady pace, and where it should really focus on, being a little bit more flashy, they're really trying to create some atmosphere here with this song. And I would say that the riffs and the bass are not as prominent as they were before, and it feels like a deliberate breather for this short EP, allowing the energy to reset before the closer. So I want to play a clip of Silver so you get a sense of just, the chiller atmosphere they're having here. I guess what I mean by chiller is just a little bit more, safe in terms of the drums and the riffs. It's not as exciting as the opening songs. I don't want to say repetitive, but it definitely follows a formula. Then you have the closing song here, Get a Grip, which really leans into the Turnstile-esque style of playing, you know, balancing out, you know, more pop-centric hooks with some really punchier riffs here and there. Simple but catchy riffs ride along a more slightly dynamic drum performance here. And while this ending track and the ending of this song doesn't really explode like earlier tracks, it does tie everything else nicely by still being a bit consistent when it comes to groove, accessibility, and just having a little bit of grittiness to it. As a debut, this self-titled EP from Grow Blind is not afraid to wear its influences on its sleeve, and that's okay. They're still growing as a band, but I will say they do deliver some of their own personality while, you know, taking influences from bands they clearly enjoy. And I think that personality really comes from, you know, like the distinctive vocal deliveries they have here and the interplay between the very thick bass tone and the very chuggy riffs. This is the sound of a band that kind of knows their strengths already, but they're still hungry to push themselves a little bit further. If their next project can, like, I guess, you know, sharpen their dynamic sounds they have here, the band could go from just being a local band to, you know, a heavy hitter in the hardcore and punk scene overall. And I'm really excited that, you know, with this EP review, they've just dropped a new EP that I'm going to review pretty much right after this one. So I'm liking that it all is flowing together. I'm really excited to talk about that EP after this one. But currently, where it stands, this debut from Grow Blind, I would have to give it a nice and decent 7 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this band, some new bands that I should check out, and stay tuned because right after this video is going to be the second part video, which I hope to have in the ending clip. But until then, see you in the pit.